The No Boundaries radio show may contain adult material and coarse language. Listener discretion is advised.
So bold, revealing yourself like a
Mick Scott from Seedspot Kill, and I want you to know that I'm listening to one of the coolest shows on the planet. This is No Boundaries Radio, and we're glad to have you. Better wear a cup.
This is Gabrielle Faust, and you're listening to No Boundaries Radio, where all the vampires hang out late at night.
Hi there, this is the artist, Mike Bliss. I'm over here in London, and I'm here to tell you that No Boundaries Radio has gone global and is drawing listeners from all over the world.
This is Donna Stewart from Sci-Fi Radio, and you're listening to No Boundaries Radio. They're a little messed up, but they're cool.
Welcome to the No Boundaries Radio Show. Are you ready for a wild ride in radio entertainment? Let's welcome our host, William Maltese, author of over 200 books, and JoJo from Vampire Wear, creator of jewelry and clothing for the undead. everybody. Welcome to the No Boundaries Radio Show. It's February the 19th, and we're really happy tonight. We have Richard Ethan Lambert on the show. He was on the road to becoming a professional cage fighter, and then he had a back injury. He's now in the field of security, and he's one of the growing numbers of people around the world who are actively involved in ghost hunting. But before we get to our guest, I was trying to get William to tell me earlier, but he wouldn't spill the beans about what he's drinking tonight and what he's been doing all week.
Yes. Yeah, so I am drinking what I'm drinking this evening. Yeah, look, well, that's for last week, Jojo. I had another gold inlay that popped out at the very beginning of the 3-day weekend we had here. Oh. Was followed by 2 days of feeling as if I had a hole the size of the Grand Canyon in my tooth. And then 2.5 hours of torture time in a dentist chair with at least 5 more hours to go. So this last week I have not been a happy camper, and I don't suspect I'll be a happy camper until sometime in the spring. Oh. As for what I'm drinking, as regards to this evening and our theme of ghost hunting and our program's guest ghost hunter Richard Ethan Lambert, I'm having a liquefied ghost cocktail, which is 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce vanilla simple syrup, 1 ounce cream, 2 ounces of soda. You just mix it all together in a cocktail shaker and serve it in a chilled martini glass. It's pretty white.
Yeah? Yeah.
Sounds like a racist remark or something or other, but anyway. Which brings us to what you, Jojo, and Vampire Wire have been up to over the last 7 days, and as to what you're drinking this evening, if anything.
Well, what I thought would, I seen some really good posts on Facebook that our friend Corvus, who's been on the show, Corvus Nocturnum, he's been doing very, very well. He actually got one of his books into Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that happened to me once, and I was very excited by it.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think we're going to see Vampire Wear in Walmart very time soon. Oh. But you never know. You never know. Yes. You never know.
Well, you never can tell.
You never
Walmart
can tell.
I've seen some strange-looking people in Walmart.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe I don't want them getting my stuff.
So much for congratulations to Corvus.
Well, anyways, congratulations, Corvus.
Yes, and, congrats.
So I thought I'd just let everybody know that I carry his books on my website. So just go there and click on Vampire Books, and you can see all of Corvus's great books. And we're always adding more because he's always taking on. Not only does he write himself, he has other authors underneath him. So. There's always new things coming out to check out. Oh, and Chase Knightley, he's in chat, and Chase's book is going up there soon.
Yes, I know. I noticed that, yeah. Everybody seems to be having a book coming out.
I know. Kimmy's in chat. Kimmy's in chat, too, and Kimmy has a book coming out soon, too.
Yes, and your Canadian Gal cookbook.
On my Canadian cookbook as soon as I get the time.
As soon as you get recipes for it.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd promo that. So let's get to Richard because we got some really fun stuff. We got an EVP and I got William to listen to it earlier. It's very funny and it's a good EVP. I'm not laughing at it, but it's funny what the ghost said. So let's bring Richard on the show, or Richard or Ethan. What should I call you?
Whichever.
Oh, okay.
I will answer either.
Okay. Yeah, if we start. Yes, he goes by Richard now. I knew him way back when he was Ethan. So if we make it confused when we're talking to, we only have one guest this evening.
Okay.
So it's Richard or Ethan. Not to confuse you people out there because we're confused enough. But
okay.
But there you have it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Richard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, did you have more? Go ahead.
I'm confused.
Go ahead, Jojo. No, go ahead. I didn't mean to butt into whatever you were going to say.
Yeah, so anyways, we just wanted to bring Richard Ethan on the show. Yeah, and he's been going to some really haunted places, so welcome.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Look, Richard, why don't we start out by you just giving us a brief rundown, if you can, on your history and how someone who was one time involved in professional cage fighting and is now involved in security work ended up heading out looking for ghosts. Is there a timeline here that, I mean, that just seems like I mean, everybody ends up, ghost hunting, usually are doing something else. But from professional cage fighting to security to this, is there a timeline, or is it just one of those things that happen?
It's actually just kind of one of those things that happened. I fought, let's see, it's 2014. I fought about, it was probably about 10 years ago. I had 3 professional fights. Did fairly well. Then I ended up hurting my back and not being able to fight anymore. And then the security world has just been something I've always just kind of done. The paranormal sort of turn I took actually started with the death of my grandmother, as interesting as that is. She died, and I had never really felt like I got to say goodbye to her. And so when I've always kind of felt bad about that. And one night I went to bed, and just like any other normal night, and I had probably the most vivid dream I've ever had in my entire life. I was just sitting there in a room with her, and we just had a conversation, and then the last thing she said to me is, "You know what? I'm okay." And I woke up, and from that day forward, it's been something that's kind of interested me. The next night, kind of feeling kind of cocky and everything, I kind of went, I wonder if I can talk to somebody else. So I'm laying in my bed, and I just go, okay, you know what? I will talk to anybody. I don't care who. Just whoever wants to come talk to me, I'll invite you in. Come talk to me. And so probably within 10, 15 seconds, I got probably the worst feeling I've ever had in my entire life, and literally felt like I was being pressed into the bed. Like someone was holding me there. To which I backtracked, of course, and said, no, I'm just kidding. Never mind. I don't want to talk to anybody anymore. No more. But, of course, as you've seen where that has taken me, I have since that point tried to figure out what it was that was just holding me to the bed.
And it turned out to be your lover's ropes and chains?
Oh,
No,
no.
No, it wasn't.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking you got to ask the nice ghost to come see you.
Yes, a little, yeah. And by the way, was that grandmother my mother?
Yes.
Oh.
There was your mother.
Yeah.
Well, you guys.
See?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I forgot, yeah.
I'm going to
Well,
tell
there you
our
go.
listeners
Yeah,
here.
he is, yeah.
Listen.
The reason that I've known Ethan so long, that he's become Richard, is because he's my nephew.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we thought we'd clear that up since you're saying,
Yeah.
was it my mother?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have you been talking to my mother? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to ask you, Ethan, is there a difference between I see ghost hunter and ghost investigator, and is there a difference, or is there something that specifically you like it to be called?
I prefer the term investigator. The reason I do, in kind of the field, looking at it, a ghost hunter is someone who just strictly goes out and tries to find them. They don't look for the whys or the hows or anything. They just go to somewhere that seems creepy and will try and find them.
Okay, that makes
where
sense.
An investigator will actually try to find the reasons why and the reasons how and better reasons to talk to, or better ways to talk to them and stuff like that. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Sure.
I get that.
Do you do your ghost hunting on your own? Did you join a group of an existing team, or did you form an exploratory group of your own? Or I already asked that. Man, well, just take any one of those that sounded okay and expound upon it, if you would, please.
So actually, all of the above.
Oh,
okay.
So, then
okay.
my friend and I, we went out with a group, and they were a great group of guys and girls. Sorry, they were 4-element investigations. We went out a couple of times with them, but they just weren't quite what we were looking for. So my friend and I actually branched out and we formed our own group, which is called White Noise Investigations. We're just barely starting out. We have been to 3 locations as White Noise, but we're starting to get a website going. We're getting a Facebook page going, so we're still in kind of the infancy stages of it, but hopefully we'll get out and be able to go a lot more.
How exactly do you find a ghost hunting group? I mean, like, when you decided that you were going to go out and wanted to go with some people, did you look in the telephone book or on the internet, or where did you find this group that you and your friend went out with?
Yeah, it was actually a Google search. We looked up ghost hunting groups in Utah, and we just 4 Element was the top one on the list because it's a letter instead of an alphabetical. So we looked at them, and it said apply. So we applied, and they said okay to me, and then my co-founder also applied and got on with him. We got on with them also, and then we decided to part ways and go on our own.
Okay, and how did you gather in, how did you recruit members of your particular group? I mean...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead, answer the...
I have me and my co-founder. We have 2 of his friends, and then my brother is also a member of the group.
Jeff?
Yes, Jeff.
Another nephew, for you people who were for you people who were wondering. Yeah, no, I didn't know that Jeff was a member. See,
Yeah.
even I learned something on these programs of mine. They're just full of useful information.
That's good.
And we have 5 right now. We're looking to recruit a few more. Maybe not necessarily a medium, but someone who's a little bit more in tune. So we're still looking for a few more.
Why a team exactly? I mean, is there do you figure there's safety in numbers?
Yes, there's safety in numbers. Yeah, it's nice to go out with a group of people who have the same passion that you do, as opposed to just going out. And yes, there is safety in numbers. There is always the chance of possession, oppression, and if you go out with people that you know well enough, you can see if their attitude changes, or if something changes. Maybe they have an attachment or something, and then you can kind of work that problem right at the point instead of having them bring it home.
Okay, I had a question from the chat room, actually, which is kind of goes along with that same, of how people are affected by the, spirits that are there. And Bobby wanted to know if when you do go into a haunted location and you find ghosts or spirits, do you try to pass them over to the other side?
We don't really have the expertise in that at all. We more are just for a communication and more for a scientific study. If people are looking to help others pass over something, usually we will let the clergy of their of whatever religion they are help them with that. We won't really go into that part.
Okay. Do you do for yourself and people in your group? Do you do something like a cleansing for like negative energy or negative energy in the area that you're investigating? Or
we will. Definitely for us, we depending again on your religious beliefs, we'll either we will always say a prayer beforehand, and then we will always say, all right, we thank you for speaking with us, but we're leaving and you stay here.
Yeah, I'm laughing, somebody in chat. I think, wasn't that on Ghost Hunters? They go, or you turn tail and yell, dude, run! Remember that?
That's what I would be doing, I'm afraid,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, but for the places that you investigate, do you find out about very many new places, or are they usually places that you know for a fact are already haunted? And also, do you have to get permission to go into them, like contact people that own the properties or that kind of thing? Just basically, how do you find where you're going to go to?
there's actually a few different ways. Of course, there are the ones that are known to be haunted, and those ones usually you can call, and you can get a ghost tour set up, or you can rent out the facility for a ghost hunt. We have one up in Ogden. It's the Union Station. It's the train station that's up there. They will do ghost hunts whenever. All you have to do is call them and give them a couple weeks in advance, and they'll do everything for you. You bring your own stuff, but they will allow you in. They have someone with you 24 the whole time you're there. The ones that we actually enjoy, or the ones that I enjoy better, are the ones that people come to us and say, I think my house is haunted. Can you find out for us? Those ones are fun because we go in not knowing for sure.
Yeah.
And usually we come out with usually a great story.
Yeah, whether it goes either way, right?
Yeah. Actually, the ones from the EVP we're going to listen to in a little bit is actually a business up in Coville. She came by my job one time, and she and I ended up talking about ghosts and whatever, and she goes, you know what? My business is haunted. I want you to come up and look, if you would. So we ended up going up there, and there was actually she had a story of somebody who had been hung. It used to be an old barn, and someone had been hung there. So we actually ended up going up there, kind of doing our thing and talking to that spirit, and he had mentioned a couple times children. Oh. And so we kind of went, okay, we have to kind of do more research. So we ended up doing library research, where it turns out that he had been hung for stealing horses, but as he was being hung, he actually kidnapped 2 children. And no one had ever known that part.
As he was being hanged, he kidnapped
as they were trying to find him.
To hang.
Yeah, I was trying to picture that too.
He basically held 2 kids as basically human shields.
Oh.
And so the security officer who works up there brings his kids in up there, and the spirit really likes those 2 kids and plays with them a lot. And there's a lot of activity when the kids are up there. So we've kind of come to the conclusion almost that he's trying to make up for hurting the other kids.
Well, this might be a good point to bring in the fact that, knowing that you have a son, have you ever taken him on any of these little adventures of yours?
I have never actually taken him out and gone hunting with him. There are just probably a little too many dangers for him and any younger kids. I will take him out on a ghost tour, do one of if they do the big public tours, hey, we'll walk you around, show you all the haunted places. I'll take him on one of those, but I won't take him out to do one of where you sit there and actually try to communicate, just because there is a lot of stuff that can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, I can't blame you. I was rather surprised to find out that other guy took his 2 kids up there to play with a ghost.
He works up there, so he just went up there and he noticed that there was a lot more activity when the 2 children were there.
So okay. Yeah. He's still bringing them back. So.
Well, they're more susceptible, I think.
Yeah,
children
he feels
aware.
about children the way I do, obviously.
Well, we talked with, as funny as this sounds, we actually communicated with the spirit quite a bit, and we asked a lot of questions about the security officer and his children. And 3 or 4 times we got do you enjoy children? Do you like children? And he said, yes. So we're going, okay, do you want to hurt the children? And then the answer was no. So we're going, okay, the kids, at least for the most part, seem to be okay up there. He seems to want to more play and interact rather than hurt. Does that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So he's trying to. I think once everybody listens to the EVP, they'll understand too. But I think he's trying to make amends because he's stuck here right now until he's not able to pass over. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're not giving him any. You're not giving him any help.
No.
Until maybe later in your later in your career. Yes. Okay. Okay. By the way, we might mention for all of those of you who are curious, Ethan is from the state of Utah. I mean, he mentioned the city of Orem, and what was the other one? Seville or
Coville.
Coville, and both of those are in the state of Utah in the United States. For all of the international listeners, in case you're wondering. I know, Richard, that you do a good deal of traveling to sports events around the country. Do
Yes.
you ever use those trips to investigate potential locales, or do you ever do anything there, or do you just mainly do it with your group around Utah?
If there ever happens to be a haunted hotel in any place that I ever go, yes, I will stay there. And yes, I will set up my cameras and I will set up my recorders and I will sleep there. But do I go looking necessarily other than kind of stuff like that? No. I do have books from, Seattle and Portland and a couple of the places that I've been recently to look maybe for the next time I do head up to look for a place to go one night.
Do you ever considered like joining up with local groups and other locales and going in with them?
Yes. Yeah, that is that's one thing that's really nice about the groups and kind of getting to know more groups and bigger areas and doing radio and stuff like that is you kind of get the name out there. So then when someone does want to come to Utah or when I want to go somewhere, I can kind of go, hey, I'm with White Noise Investigations. I saw you guys on such and such. Would you guys ever be interested in kind of hosting us as we go? And the community, the paranormal community, is actually really tight knit. Even though there are hundreds of groups, probably in every state, we are very happy to go with other people and kind of learn off of them or have them learn off of us, depending kind of on how the circumstances are. But yeah, it's a great way to get. For example, we'll do large. For in Tooele, there's Asylum 49. The Ghost Adventures crew has actually been out there and done one of their investigations out there. And then, so we went out with a large group of 4 or 5 different groups and did one big, large investigation out there overnight.
Okay. Now, you said at the very beginning of your interest in the paranormal, you were confronted by an actually malicious entity that pressed you to the bed and all.
Yes.
Have you had any other bad things happen to you?
Not overly. Let's put it that way. Of course, whenever you go to a location, you always try and find out whether it's good, bad, whatever. Usually, the quote-unquote funner ones to play with, I guess, are usually darker.
So this initial experience of yours didn't really turn... I mean, that's actually part of what got you involved in your present research. I mean, it didn't turn you away. You weren't turned off by the fact that you were that you knew that there were ghosts out there that weren't particularly friendly.
Right. No, there's a large range from the good ghosts to the really, really bad. And we will kind of go with whatever, so.
And how about other members of your team? I mean, come to think of it, though, they were all male, weren't they? So they're less apt probably to be scared than... Well, no, I shouldn't say that because that sounds sexist. But none of them have had any kind of experiences that have turned them off. I mean, you've got your group and you've kept your group, and none of your group seems to be inclined to maybe venture off because they've had an unfortunate incident while you were out ghost hunting.
No, my co-founder actually had a dark experience with his wife at their home, but that is been in the past, but it hasn't deterred him at all. If anything, almost, the more activity we have around us, the more it makes us want to investigate more, to figure out why.
And I think the malicious
I was going to
ghosts-
say, Jojo,
yeah.
you falling asleep.
No. I was going to say the malicious ghosts, they probably make more of a commotion. Like, do you think they're easier to find?
Yes, they're definitely... they definitely are more active, generally.
Yeah.
Why, we don't know, but they're generally more active, and they're the ones more apt to let you know that they're there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because I had seen the video online, and I had that's what we're going to play the EVP from the video. But I seen a few different pieces of equipment there, and a Ouija board as well. Did you guys bring all that in there, or and is it like all your what do you find? I guess what do you find works the best as far as the equipment goes?
Probably the coolest piece of equipment that we have is what's called an SB7 spirit box. And what it does is it sweeps through radio frequencies at like a sweep per every fourth of a second. So it moves really fast. So what it does is it sets up white noise for the spirits to actually talk through. So instead of using a recorder and asking a question and then getting an answer, but not finding out we had an answer until the next day when going through all the evidence, we can actually get a real-time answer from the spirit.
Frank's box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of that. Look at me
So
go.
It's actually it's one of the coolest things. I think the spirit box is actually the EVP that you have is through that spirit box.
Yeah.
So it's a
yeah,
but yeah, it's a great. That's probably the best tool we have. Yes, the Ouija board we do use as a trigger object. We do not use it for communication. But it is kind of a, I don't want to say a stereotype, but it's kind of a faux pas to use one. So we don't use it as an actual communication device. We do use it as a trigger object, however.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because Kimmy in chat was asking about the Ouija boards.
So yeah, just in the paranormal kind of community, they're frowned upon as a communication tool. But we've actually found to use them as a trigger object, or as we'll put them out and then have the slider on top, and we'll try and get that slider to move on its own without us touching it or anything. We will try and do that.
It gives them maybe a chance to be able to say something too. So, yeah. I was thinking, do you guys want to take a quick break? And because the EVP is like great, so I was thinking when we get back, we'll take a quick break, and then we come back. We can do the EVP and discuss that because it's really excellent. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So
Okay.
just a real short one. Okay, guys.
When the sun goes down, do you start to crave something dark and decadent? Vampireware has something for your immortal soul. Jewelry, accessories, and if you dare, Vampireware. Home of the Tribal Fang Necklace, complete with certificate of authenticity, except no other. Get your Vampireware at vampireware.com. We always get what we pray for.
It's a magical time. I feel electric as I
Looking for some erotic literature? Guaranteed to ignite your passion. Look no further than author William Maltese. With titles such as Dare to Love in Oz, Circus Sex, Godmaker Vampires of London, and Love Hurts. You can pick your favorite flavor, from mainstream romance to S&M and gay erotica. Want to get hot in the kitchen or the back of the boat? William also has a line of tasty cookbooks. Check out Back of the Boat, Gourmet Cooking, and Even Gourmets Have to Diet. Go to WilliamMaltese.com and enjoy over 200 books and over 4 decades of love.
In a world of the Para-X Radio Network lies a lounge with food for mind and soul, a place to gather, learn, and chat about the unexplained and paranormal, while being served by your most congenial host, Reverend Tim Shaw. Next stop, the Black Cat Lounge, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Para-X Radio Network.
Hey everybody, we are back from break. And before we play the EVP, Richard, I was going to ask you: do you ever, living in Utah, have you? It's being quite a religious conservative state. Have you had any negative feedback from people or family, and they don't think you should be doing this, like the paranormal?
Yeah, a little bit, not a lot. I do get a little bit. But for the most part, the people that I'm around, obviously because I'm in the kind of the paranormal group and the society, kind of the organization, a lot of them are actually really supportive. Of course, you do get from time to time, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. I know that my co-founder does get some pushback from his family, but for the most part, it's been pretty positive.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
You don't live in Salt Lake. You don't have to mention the town you live in, but you don't live in Salt Lake City proper, do you? I mean, you live in one of the outlying districts.
Yeah, but it's still, it's basically a suburb of it. So I'm 10 minutes away from Salt Lake.
Oh, okay. So it's
I'm right.
One big metro area, so
right.
Yeah, all right. Okay, Jojo, are you going to play that?
Yeah.
Now? Are you going to give? Is somebody going to give a? I know that he's already said, if I'm correct, that it was this business of his friend of his, who the woman said, "Come and investigate what was going on upstairs." The one with the man that was hanged and kept the 2 kids.
Yes.
Yes, that's this one.
Yeah, that's where this one was taken. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and people too listening. If you go to, is it on your Facebook page too, William, or?
It'll
do
be
you
on
know? I was going, he sent it to me, and I watched it, and I was going to put it on my page, but I don't think I did. I probably will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think if I can figure out how, I will.
Well, just share it.
Yeah, but it came to me through. It came to me on a Facebook as a. I'll give it a try and see if I can't.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, because it'll send me some. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
obviously
on,
I'm not the most computer genius. I'm not exactly your local computer genius. I shall certainly do my best attempt. However, remember that you can find it on Ethan's page, and he is on Facebook, which would be /Richard Ethan Lambert, I suspect, rather than is it just Richard Lambert?
It's actually Richard Ethan Lambert is my personal page. We have White Noise Investigations, which is our Facebook page. And then we have the WNIcrew.com, which is our website that's just starting to get up and running. But all of the videos and EVPs and everything will be on there very soon.
Oh, Okay, well,
I didn't even realize there was a white noise. Sorry to interrupt you once again, Jojo.
Yeah, I didn't know either because I didn't get that information. So make sure you send it to us, and we can post it around as well.
We can post that too, yeah.
And I was just thinking too, William, what I'll do, I'll share the video onto your page so that you.
And I can comment on.
There you go.
I think that would be, I think
it's perfect.
I think that would be the easiest way to get it passed around. Yes, thank you, Jojo.
So this EVP, Richard, it's using Frank's box. Is that right?
It's an SP7 Spirit box. It's the
It's
the thing that uses the radio, so you'll hear that like background noise.
Yeah.
But what that is that's just white noise for them to speak through to us.
Okay. And do you know from experience that this ghost upstairs is named what Jason? Is that what your group is calling?
Someone was calling him Jason, but
he got mad.
But someone was calling him
one of the ladies,
Jason.
One of the ladies that was there with us decided that would be a good name for him.
So, just out of the blue.
Yeah,
Jason! Wasn't he one of those?
Yeah,
he was
killers.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Well, how nice of her. No wonder. No wonder he found one. By the way, this woman was not a member of your group, obviously, since you don't have a woman in your group.
No. What they were. This was up at the business. We do allow the owner of the business to bring a few people, usually a few. We try to keep it for people who are either non-believers or who are interested in learning kind of a little bit about ghost hunting. So we will allow them to bring a couple people so we can kind of teach them some of the techniques and stuff if they are interested.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I'll play the EVP and then we can talk about it because it's quite good. So hang on, guys. I just have to turn the mic off for a second while I play it.
I know. We're not going to penetrate anything.
You got a one voice.
Say to me.
Is there a spirit here with us? No? Well, if you said no, then you're obviously here.
Yes. Did you send me in?
Are you in heaven or hell?
Jason. Hell?
Hell.
Hell. Jason, why are you not in heaven?
Do you have a name? Yes or no?
You can't tell us your name?
You can't tell us. Can't tell. Why can't you tell us?
Did you see that? I did not do that. That is me, Ebby Slut.
Do you not like women?
What did you say? Slut. What did you say? Slut.
It doesn't
like... On the radio? Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong.
Okay.
So obviously the spirit was very upset with this woman and called her a slut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, by the way, Richard, when you have people join you who are like out of this group, do you let them freely participate on their own, or do you provide them with guidelines as to what they're supposed to do?
We try to give them guidelines. Whether they choose to follow them or not is kind of up to them. This particular woman was being kind of loud and forceful, more so than we normally are. That was actually right at the beginning of our investigation. And so we usually try and communicate more on just a personal level, and then if we don't get the activity we're looking for, we do try to look more at provoking and kind of trying to upset the spirit to try and get more of an answer if we need to.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Straight into the...
Asking?
Yeah, she just kind of went straight into the gusto, and he didn't like it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I watched a couple of the videos that, clear through, and I was going to ask you whether you ever got any negative feedback from your ghost in the fact that you do, or your group sometimes has a tendency to be very, to get belligerent. Like, what kind of a ghost are you if you can't keep that flashlight on for more than 2 seconds? That's that sort of thing. Do they respond negatively to that sort of questioning, or do they respond to it? And are you just looking for response?
We're actually, more or less, we're just looking for a response. I mean, usually when people, whether it be dead, alive, whatever, get yelled at, your first response is to yell back. So if we get a little bit belligerent with them, hopefully we'll get a little bit stronger of a response coming back on us.
Okay, and for those of you listeners who would like to listen to that a little bit more carefully, as Joanne has said, she'll post it on her space, my space, and our space, and you can tune in and listen to it more carefully. Basically, it's just the fact that they were questioning this ghost upstairs, and he did get a little upset by this woman and did call her a slut, which we found amusing. She might not have, but I thought it was. Yeah, I thought she had. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you? Let's go back. Let's go back to an answer that you might have already given me at the beginning of the show, Richard, and that is, what are you and your group actually expecting to find on each of these visits? Are you just out there are you after proof that ghosts exist, that they don't exist? I know you say once you find them, or once you think you found one, you seem to be interested in, gathering information as to how they got there, or what the problem was, that sort of thing. Is that your main purpose? I mean, are you just out to speak with ghosts, or are you trying to prove something?
Honestly, everybody's drive is different. My personal feeling is, as weird as it sounds, I kind of want to feel what I felt before. I want to kind of have the feelings I've had reenacted. So the feeling of being held down to the bed, the feeling of just kind of knowing that they're there. My co-founder, his big thing that he really, really wants is he wants to see a full-bodied apparition. That's his goal. My goal is to get the feeling that I had. Jeff's, one of our other investigators, my brother, he's very, very scientific, and he's not a skeptic necessarily, but he wants proof. So we all kind of have different drives, but together as a team, we work out really well together.
And do you have a list of? Do you have a standard procedure for every session? Like, do you have a list of questions, standard questions, stock questions that you ask each time, or does this always vary according to the place that you're visiting?
The first EVP session we do, or the first audio session we do, we always ask the name. We always ask if there's anything he wants to say. Something like that. But after that, we kind of go off of feeling. They're very, very good at letting you know that they're there. Whether it be the hair on your arms raised, the hair on the back of your neck, you know if they're there. There's a really cold spot. And then from there, you can kind of gauge. You ask a question, you get a cold spot, you kind of keep going with that line of questioning. If you're asking questions and there's no sort of physical response, you move on, you go to a different location, a different part of the building or whatever, and try again. So it's actually it's really fluid what we do, but we will always kind of start that first EVP session with the who are you, what happened, why are you here type questions.
And do you ever follow up? I know you said that one time you went to the library to find out about the guy who was hanged in that house. Do you usually, if you get basic information, go out and see if you can verify what you've heard?
We will. For me personally, it just is an interest. For example, for the one up in Colville, there's actually only one recorded hanging ever in Colville, and that was our ghost that we were talking to. So it's just it's very interesting to be able to put the story with the spirit. And then you can almost make an assumption that, yes, that was the spirit we were actually talking to.
Do you ever go back and verify? I mean, do you ever go back to some place more than once? And
Yeah, we've been up to that business. We've actually been up there twice. So we went up there. The lady is actually a good personal friend of mine. So she kind of lets us go up there if we have a new piece of equipment or a new strategy to try. She'll let us go up there and actually try something new.
Is it always the same ghost there, that guy? Is it him?
It has been so far.
Yeah.
Out of the 2 times we've gone there. The first time we went, there was a dark presence there, and then there was the guy. And the second time we were there, it was just the guy. The dark presence that we didn't really know what it was not there that time. If that makes sense.
Okay. Have you got any ideas? Have you ever thought of going the way of your uncle and writing a book about all this?
It has crossed my mind. I would need to probably do more years of research before I could write what I feel would be a good book about my experiences. But it is definitely a possibility, and I'm glad that I know a writer who might possibly help me.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't contain myself. Can we go back for a minute in regard to? I'm actually interested in the equipment that you take along. I mean, like you said, you take along like a set piece, like a Ouija board, which really has nothing to do, with anything because it's just kind of to bring something in. But what else? And you have your what was it? Spirit box? The spirit box that puts out the white. That puts out the white noise. So what? And I know you obviously must have. There must be a recorder, and there must be a video camera, and there must be. Of course.
That is basically when you start out ghost hunting, you can start out with 2 things. You need an audio recorder and literally a still camera. The best photo that my co-founder and I have ever gotten was actually one that he took with just one of those ProShot zoom cameras. He took a shot. And there's 2 or 3 apparitions in the photo.
And so you have actually come across visuals. I mean, your experiences have not been just entirely audio.
We actually do have. Yeah, we do have a couple of shadow people in a photo that is actually up on our Facebook page. But now that we've kind of formed our own group. We have a couple of night vision cameras. We have the infrared lights. We have an Ovilus, which is it's a machine basically that has a word dictionary that, depending on the energy that the spirit uses, it can pick out the words.
Fascinating.
So again, it's another real-time kind of way to speak to the spirits.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, well, I mean, you actually sound very well equipped well, of course, you've been doing this for a little while, but yes, I find that fascinating because I always wonder, you want to have a record of what you've got, and I wanted to make sure that you, with the equipment that you had, did it. You obviously seem to have quite a bit going on there, so. Jojo, did you have anything you wanted to? That I haven't butted you out of?
No, I was just going to ask, because you said you've been doing it for quite a while. How long have you been interested in this?
I've been interested in it's been probably 4 years for me, and it's been a hobby. The actual ghost hunting has been a hobby for about 1.5 years, and we've been doing it professionally for about 9 months now. My co-founder has been doing it for years and years and years as a hobby, and we finally we ended up working together. He and I worked together in the same business. So he and I ended up starting the group together about 9 months ago, and we go out when we can and try and find them.
Do you advertise like that? For people like cooking people that think they have entities in their houses and things like that? Do you do that? Or?
Right now it's all word of mouth. We haven't done any large scale advertising. Everything we do is actually free of charge. We don't charge to come and do an investigation.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah.
Because it's completely just, for us, it's a passion.
Yeah.
So, for us, it's a passion. We enjoy doing it, and so there's really no need to charge because we do it because we love it. So.
Oh, that's really good.
But yeah, if there's anybody who has an entity or feels they do, we would be happy to go out there. We can set up a time with you, and we can go out one night, 2 nights, whatever anyone feels comfortable with, we can go and do.
Yeah. So do you want to just tell everybody where they can... Is the Facebook page up now, or?
Yeah, the Facebook page is up right now. It's White Noise Investigations. And then the website that we have is thewnicrew.com.
Oh, okay. And the website's up with all the pictures and stuff?
The website's up. We are filling it in right now with some of the pictures and the videos that we have.
Oh, good.
It's under construction, but it should be up and fully functioning hopefully by the end of next week.
Oh, good.
If my co-founder's listening, he just got a task. So.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Jeff is good at electronic stuff.
Yes.
Ethan's brother is very good at that. Does he handle any of that stuff on your?
Actually, my co-founder right now handles all of it. Jeff is kind of the audio-visual tech for right now. He's also an investigator, but he does a lot of the audio-visual tweaking and batteries and all that, and make sure that we have that stuff.
Okay.
Oh, good. Good. Well,
are you watching the time, JoJo?
Yeah,
because as usual, I'm not. One drink too many. What can I do?
Your white. What are they? White ghosty drinks?
Yeah, my liquefied ghost.
Liquefied
it's
ghost.
a pretty white drink. Yeah, I'll post a picture of it so you can see it. It's really attractive, and it tastes. Well, it's got vodka in it, which should suit you.
Yeah.
Are you drinking anything this evening?
No. No, not yet.
No. The show drove you to drink, didn't it?
I might have one, yeah. I don't know. But, yeah, I just was been one of those days. I was really tired today, so I didn't... I wanted to be perky. I drank a lot of coffee today.
You'll be awake tonight.
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty tired. But, anyways, yeah, we should get going. But, thank you so much, Richard, Ethan, for being on the show.
What are you doing? Banging on your box? I can't hear.
It's not me.
Oh, sorry.
I wasn't banging.
There you go.
I wasn't banging on my box. Oh, no.
We're about to say goodbye, and he's about to begin drumming.
I know.
Okay.
That's funny. Well, I thought I could hear something, too, and I didn't want to say anything.
That's all right. Well, yeah, I didn't either, but I did. So there you go. We are signing off officially now, are we, JoJo?
Yes, we had best get going, and
okay, then we should thank Richard Ethan Lambert for participating this evening.
Yeah, and we'll post the make sure we'll post the Facebook and your websites up and all that fun stuff, and we'll have to do this again, get some more EVPs and stuff because they're a lot of fun.
Definitely, I would definitely enjoy doing it again.
Okay, and and if you guys out there are looking for some really great books to read, erotic romances and cookbooks, everything, go to Amazon.com and put in William Maltese.com. William Maltese. and if you're looking for some vampy type stuff, go to my site vampireware.com and you'll find gothic boots and jewelry and all that stuff. So everybody have a great night, and we will be here next Wednesday.
Yes, thank you for stopping in, and thanks again to our guests for this evening.
Yeah, thanks. Good night.
Good night.